Hey all, it's Nikos here and welcome to our weekly Forex forecast for May the 14th to May the 18th. And we're going to cover not many pairs. I'm focusing on the GBP US dollar and cable, on the Euro US dollar, the Australian dollar US dollar, on GBP CHF, CADCHF, GBP Australian dollar, GBP Canadian dollar, and we take a look also at the Euro Turkish Lira. Also, we are going to take a look at some Renko charts on the GBP US dollar and Euro US dollar. But let's start this time with cable, GBP US dollar. On the weekly chart, for all traders that actually missed the previous sessions, price did break our major support line on the weekly chart, so we didn't have more bounces in this area. And we can also draw quickly a horizontal support line down here, our next targets for the shorts. As you can see on the daily chart, the price did break this line, and now it's really ranging below this support area. So that doesn't mean the price necessarily has to move down. It could also just wait and range for a little bit longer and then go back up. But we keep in mind our powerful major support line that comes from the weekly chart. And this is the king. This is telling us the price in past just wanted to move higher. But when we saw the first break of this line, this is the first sign of a possible trend change. So we just go with the flow, and in this case it's the same thing. And it's important that we actually identify this area and that we know that this line is so important because of all the previous bounces, right, on the higher time frame. So right now, if I check my 4-hourly chart, you'll see the price cannot penetrate this line anymore, at least so far. And because it's a Monday, and Monday is a funny day sometimes in the Forex market, most of the times actually, we want to see what happens tomorrow. So either we get a real nice break and a nice actually 2 to 3 line break like this, and then we can focus on our shorts targeting the next area of support. Or price decides to actually create, let's say, a higher high and higher low on the 1-hourly chart like this. It doesn't look like it right now, but we never know. If that happens, then we can really focus on a bigger retracement. The 633 would be a target. Here the 200 and 633 combination, and on the daily chart it would be the 36 EMA in combination with those previous bounces in this area. So it would be a nice move of about 140, 150 to 180 or even 200 points, depending of course on the volatility. In case we get the break, you can watch on the 1-hourly or set some alerts. Then of course we would like to see price moving down fast to here. But don't forget the setups. This is a breathing and living thing. The market will breathe in, it will breathe out, retrace, and then hopefully, bad word, but you know what I mean, move down to here. So if we get this, we are short and we take action. We don't just stare and wait. If we get the setup, if the market is doing what we are expecting, then we take action. If not, we are not invited and we just don't trade. It's that simple, right? For the Renko traders, you see the Renko charts in combination with our Heikin-Ashi candles looks a little bit different, but we can still see let me just draw a trend line. It's the only line we have right now. We can still see the areas of resistance because here it's filtering out more noise, right? We can see the move up and then the move down, and now price is stuck in this area. So I would go and check the 120 settings 12 pips per box, and you can see, identify easily this range. So right now, if we would draw a range like that, multiple touches are the most touches we have in here, and we are not interested to take action as long as the price is sitting between support and resistance. We let others trade here. What we want is to see the price getting out of here, a setup over resistance, or price is moving down, and then a setup below here. You can set your EAs if you're already a VIP member. If not, just wait for this to happen. Check the charts maybe every hour or every 2-3 hours, see what's happening, and when you see a setup is in making, you just watch closer and place maybe some pending orders in order to get in. Okay, now let's check the euro US dollar. Here we have a clear trend line break, the 36 EMA break, but we can also see a spike on the weekly chart, so we watch closer on the daily. So that spike here, price did find a lot of support. We also had a big move. Remember, we were talking about this in much detail last week, of 600 almost points without retracement. So price did react, and we had already 170 pips retracement. Now I'm not convinced that price will go up, because on the 4-hourly chart we still have this one big red candle in making. So what does that mean? Of course we have a 36 EMA break and everything, but what does this mean here? If price breaks this tonight or tomorrow morning, and it's not bouncing off the 36 and create a new white candle, then we can forget the long scenarios for now, right? We would only trade the shorts if we get another setup. So this previous resistance line, we can draw it actually a bit lower like this. Here we have the most touches, looks like this, was very powerful, but after that break things changed a little bit. Now we have on a 4-hourly chart a possible long scenario on the sorry, let me go to the Renkos for you. On the 240, I mean, we have a short scenario because price did retrace to the 36 and looks like a big short 1 2 3. On the 120, 12 pips, we have a long scenario. So 2 time frames or 2 settings don't agree. In this case, we have to decide what is more important, and for me the main trend is always more important. Yes, we can look for some intraday setups to start with in this direction, but for that we need a 2 to 3 line break and an entry in this area to target the 200 EMA or the next day of resistance. But because on the 4-hourly it looks still short, I always focus on the higher settings. That means time frames or settings. So I want to see what happens if we get a little bit of volatility. Will price bounce and move lower? And then I forget the longs because the main trend is short. So I'm not convinced that price wants to move higher. We'll see tomorrow if we get a little bit more volatility. And in this case, checking even bigger settings, our targets are still the previous low and later on the 633. When we go back to our normal time frames, classic time frames, this is a good area of support. Okay, highs from May and some lows here. So on the 1-hourly chart, if we get in with lower time frames, if we get in on the higher time frames, let me do it like this for you. On the daily chart, you see for the swing traders, this area is good, or even down here in combination with the 633, those lows from November, October in combination with the 633. So price could move literally another 200-300 points before changing or before giving us a bigger retracement if price moves lower during the week later on. Okay, so pay attention to the details. Australian dollar, US dollar, weekly chart. We can draw our lines. One powerful trend line was this. Okay, no matter how you change the angle, that is still a break of this powerful weekly trend line. So on the daily chart now, what we want to see is this. We want to see a bigger retracement back to here, and only then we wait for a bounce and a break of this 2 to 3 line to look for more shorts. Now on the 4-hourly chart, one sec, we would like to see this break and this setup below here. So for shorts, that's it, and the setup below here. Okay, and if we want bigger retracements up to here for longs, we just need to see a good setup. And I don't like what I see on the chart. I have my range and I don't have any long setups. So for the longs, we can only use the 4-hourly chart and wait for some movement. And if price bounces in this area and we get a really nice powerful candle, then we can try to trade against the main trend and take advantage of the retracement. I just don't like doing this, so I will focus mostly on this area. If price moves higher and then bounces, I want to take advantage of shorts there. If that's not happening, I will look for shorts here in this area, but I will not try to take advantage of the bigger retracement unless you want to do it using Renko charts or lower time frames like intraday trading. Okay, GBPCHF on the weekly chart is still far away from major support, and because it's an uptrend, we can only focus on longs on the lower time frames. That means that if price breaks this line, we are looking for longs using 1-hourly and 4-hourly charts and target those highs. If it's going down, you see on the 4-hourly chart we have a really nice range here. Look at this. Okay, kind of a wedge. Then you can also take advantage of shorts because there is enough space on the lower time frames or Renko charts to target, of course, the 600, the 200, or the extension of this line. But that would be trading against the main trend if there is volatility. The best scenario is always trading with the main trend. So if price doesn't move lower, it will probably react fast at some point and really move up quickly. If that's not happening, it might move down very quickly because it has to go somewhere after this range. Price is really squeezed in this area, and that's not good. So wait for the price to move out there first before you take action. You have to be smart. You want to trade, with an open mind and focus on your long-term profits, not just 1 or 2 days, right? CADCHF, it's just a little update for all the long traders. We took the longs in this area as a bounce, and since then price is really going up 500-600 points. There's still room before it's reaching the extension of this line, but we find a lot of resistance, also horizontal resistance already since here. So this whole area is resistance, but we go always with the main trend, and that means we want to wait for the price still to actually move up, using our 4-hourly charts to find entries, Renko charts, or even 1-hourly 1, 2, 3s and bounces. Right now that looks like a 4-hourly 1, 2, 3, but we don't have enough volatility. So again, it's Monday right now. Tomorrow or after Asian Open, we hopefully see some action. If not, it's okay, we just don't touch it, right? GBP Australian dollar is close to this, very close to our major support line. Actually, depending on how you draw it, also broke it, but it really depends on the angle. It's in the area of support. So what we want to see is a reaction if you want to go long. For that, we need to draw this line, and we want to see what's going to happen if price moves lower and touches this area. If we get the spikes like here, then we know, okay, we probably get some good setups, and then after this break we can really look for setups and on the lower time frames, 4 hourly, 1 hourly, to target the previous highs, and long term, of course, the next area of resistance, which is the 633, or even much higher. Actually, we are now right here, so that's again your target. Longer term 633 in combination with those highs and lows. So it's actually very close. Yeah. Long-term targets could be like over 1,000 points. So pay attention to the reaction here. It's not ready yet, but we can prepare. GBP Canadian dollar did also break our weekly powerful support line. And right now, because there was a powerful break, we can only focus on the shorts. So there is a 1, 2, 3 in making right now. We have a nice trend line. So if you see a nice break here, it's not the first setup, but it's the first setup after weekly trend line break. So with low risk policy, getting in this area, placing orders, or using the Renko charts, it's good, right? And one more pair I want to mention. The euro and the Turkish lira, because this is really moving up for a long time. It's very volatile. Now, depending on the broker, in past we didn't have a big spread, but because of the volatility, the spread went up like crazy. So be careful, don't trade it on too low on lower time frames. I would just start trading it on maybe daily or 4 hourly charts in the direction of the main trend. And right now, because we had already the reaction, remember last week we were talking about this, wait for another retracement, or only trade in the direction of the main trend using maybe the 4 hourly, 1 hourly chart. Again, remember the spreads, or check your broker, maybe they have less spread, and take advantage of this up move so far. There are no areas of resistance, because it never went that high, I guess. So the direction is clear, just longs on this pair. Okay. I have also the Euro Australian dollar, my last pair for this week, and I want to see retracement back to here. I don't want to trade 50, 60 or 70 pips. I want to see the reaction close to this line on the weekly or the 36 EMA, and then I will check my daily chart and see if it's worth doing anything here, if it's retracing back. If it's not going back, I need to see the break. But even on the daily chart, it doesn't look like much, so it's not that volatile. It's more like a long-term investment setup. Just take a look, but you don't have to. There are other pairs that look much nicer than this one. I'm just interested in seeing what's going to happen there. Okay, guys, that's it for this week. I hope it helped. If you like what you see, if it's helpful, make sure you comment. Maybe you have some ideas you want to share with me or with us. And don't forget also to give it a like, so I know that I'm doing things right for you. Catch up with you soon. Have a wonderful week, and like always, happy and healthy trading.